Multiply binomials intro. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to times these two binomials together, and again we're basically going to do it the same way we did it from the other video. So we're going to say x minus 1, and then I'm going to write down my x plus 4. This single x, this is my first or my front term. This negative 1 is my last term. Now I have my double smiles. That's my inside smile, and that's my outside smile. So I want to start off with the first times the first. So the first times the first term is x to the second. When I go in for my inside smile, that's a negative 1x. My outside smile, I have an x and a 4, so that's simply 4x. So when you have a number and a letter, you write the number on the outside followed by the letters. When you have two letters like you have in the first term, you just write down the 2 in this case here, and you just use an exponent. So what we're going to do is we're going to say negative 1x, and then that's this 4x we write down. There's no sign in front of it, so it's understood to be positive. Okay, now we want to do the last one. So the last one is a negative 4, a negative 1 actually, times a positive 4, so that's going to be a negative 4. So let's code it. Let's circle. Let's box. Let's box. And then we want to triangle. So let's place a triangle here around the negative 4. So my first term is going to be x to the second. In the boxes show a negative 1 plus 4. What's happening here is you owe your mom a negative. So when you see a negative 1, in this case, any negative, you owe your mom, so you owe your mom $1. But see how the situation is you're paying too much. You're giving her 4. So your mom is going to give you $3 back. So from your $4, you only have to give her 1, so that still leaves you with 3. So you're going to say plus 3, and the letter there, the variable there inside the box is an x, and then finish up the triangle. That's a negative 4. So we'll type this in. So we're going to say x, and then we're going to press the AB key to the second. Press your space bar. Press your plus, then your 3, then your x, then your minus sign, and then your 4. Okay, again, basically we're going to do the same thing. Just write down the two binomials. So you're going to say x plus 3. And you're going to say x minus 1. This is my first, my last, my first, my last. And then you want to do the double smiles. So right here you have the x times the x. So it's x to the second. Then you have a 3 and an x, so that's 3x. You have an x and a negative 5. Well, that's a negative 5x. So I could say plus 3x minus the 5x. And now finish with the last term. So a positive 3 times a negative 5. Because remember, what you're doing is you're timesing everything. So the 3 times the negative 5, that's 15, but it's a negative 15. But when you're multiplying and you see two letters like you have at the start, you just end up counting up the letters. So you're still counting the letters like we always done. So x and x is x to the second. When you have a letter and a number, you just write the number in front. So that's 3x, and the other one became negative 5x. And then the last multiplication is regular multiplication, 3 times a negative 5. Well, 3 times 5 is 15. You see one negative sign, so it's a negative 15. So let's code this. So we circle, we box, and then we triangle. So the highest is the circle, so that's x to the second. Inside the box shows 3 minus 5. Well, here's the thing. The minus 5, you owe your mom actually 5, but you're only giving her 3. So you need to pay her 2. It should be a negative 2. See, if I took 5 minus 3, so 5 minus this 3 gives me a 2, but you need to pay her, so it becomes a negative 2. So this is going to be a negative 2x, and then what's in the triangle is a negative 15. So let's type this in. So we're going to say x, we're going to press the AB key, we're going to put down a 2, press the space bar, we go minus the 2, then the x, and then press the minus sign, then the 15. Okay, next question. Now this one has two negatives in there, so both binomials has a subtraction sign in there. So just be aware of it, that you have some negatives in here. So you have your x minus 7 and you have your x minus your 3. So this is my first, this is my last. This is my first, this is my last. And then just go double smiles. So right here we're going to take x times x. Remember the letters you just count up, so it's x to the second. Then for my double smiles I have a negative 7 followed by x. The outside smile I have an x and a negative 3, so start with the negative 3, so negative 3x. So I write this as a negative 7x minus the 3x. Now for my last term I have a negative 7 times a negative 3. Well, 7 times 3 is 21, but I have two negative signs here. See the double negatives? This negative and this negative. When you have two negatives and you're multiplying, this becomes a positive. So now let's code it. Let's circle our x to the second. Let's box. Let's box. And let's triangle. So we have x to the second, we have minus 7x minus 3x plus 21. So around here we're going to start off with the x to the second first. Inside the box is a negative 7 and a minus 3. Those are my coefficients. So what happened here? You went to your mom, you got 7. You went back, you got 3. So 7 plus 3 is 10. But you need to pay your mom back that money. So that's going to be a negative 10. So I'll say negative 10, letter X. My triangle, inside my triangle is a positive 21. So again, first term, that's an x with an x is x to the second. My inside smile is a negative 7 and x, it's a negative 7x. My outside smile is a negative 3 and an x, it's a negative 3x. And then as for my last term, negative 7 times negative 3. So 7 times 3 is 21. Double negatives turns to a positive. So we circle, we box the single letter x's, then we do the triangle. From right here we write down the x to seconds, only one circle. Our coefficients for the boxes is a negative 7 and negative 3, which is a negative 10 or negative 10x. And we finish up with the triangle, which is the constant, which is 21. So I'm going to press in the x, press the AB key, press the 2, press the space bar. Go minus, go 10x, press the plus sign, and press 21. Okay, next question. Here again we have two negative signs, so be aware of that. So we're going to have the x minus the 3. Then we're going to have the x minus the 4. This is my first term. This is my last term. First term, last term. And then we want to go double smiles. So we have the x times the x. And remember, when you're multiplying, just count up letters. So this is x to the second. Then we have the negative 3x with the inside smile. And we have negative 4x for the outside smile. We always lead with the number, then the letter. So that's why we have the negative 3x and the negative 4x. So negative 3x, negative 4x. We want to finish up with the last term when these are our numbers here. So negative 3 times a negative 4. Well, we know that's 12 because 3 times 4 is 12. Double negatives makes this a positive 12. So now we code, we circle, and then right here we box, we box, and then the constant we put in a triangle. So what I have here is I'm going to start off with the x to the second. Now the -3 and the -4. What's happening here is a double borrow. You went to your mom, she gave you 3. You went back and your mom gave you 4. So 3 plus 4 is 7, but you need to pay her back $7. So anytime you have the word need, that's negative. So this turns into a -7x plus the 12. So again, the first terms, those are x's, so we just count them up. That's where the x the second came from. The inside smile, that's a -3 with an x, so that's a -3x. The outside was an x and a -4. That becomes a -4x. And then the last term is a -3 and a -4. Well, that's going to be 12, and it's a positive 12 because of the negatives. When I code this, I see I only have one circle, so that's just x to the second. I have two boxes, so the coefficients there are a -3 and a -4. And then from here, I get a -7. So that's going to be a -7x, and then the triangle is just a positive 12. So we're going to type in x, press the AB key, put down the 2, press the space bar, then we're going to go minus the 7 followed by the x, then the plus sign, and then 12.